Welcome to Bet the Bus, where we talk about the biggest college football games on the biggest stage. It is bowl season, boys. And a little fun fact, we're going to be talking Barstool Bowl, Cotton Bowl, and the New Year's Six Bowls. And a little history on the New Year's Six and why it was coined that term. The year 2013, the date, January 1st, 2013 in Orlando, Florida, the Capital One Bowl, 70,000 loud and proud. The Georgia Bulldogs led the Nebraska Cornhuskers just by a few points. They lined up the formation, trips far gun. For those who don't know, that's where the running back is offset in the shotgun formation away from the tight end. The X was nasty. What that means is the X had a cut split closer to the line of scrimmage. Trips far gun, X nasty. There was a 100% tendency rate on that formation. That tendency, H slip screen. Once the X releases underneath right away, boom, the middle linebacker, I'm not going to say his name yet, the middle linebacker knows this is the H slip screen. This young man slipped the X, ran the route for the running back, picked it off, took it to the house for a pick six, and that is why they call it the New Year's Six. That is why they call it the New Year's Six. Do you know who that gentleman was, Taylor?
Will Compton.
Will the Dog Compton. Welcome to Bet the Bus. Joined as always, my boy in the back, Joey Parlay. He might look malnourished on the outside, but he is stuffed like a piggy bank on the inside. He is your one-stop shop for all things gambling. You got a question, he's got an answer. You need advice, he's got a quote. You need a loan? Then your broke ass came to the wrong place because debt is for pussies. Next to him, Jackie Slips, also known as the Slip Whisperer. He reads the board better than a Dr. Seuss book. If sports betting was his love language, he would be a happily married man versus going on his third divorce for excessive gambling. In front of him is Gary Pockets so deep he carries a few things with him. He carries keys to your retirement, a phone to wire that money direct, and he carries a little extra cash for once that parlay hits this weekend and he gets to rip on Backpage a little bit. In front of him, Mitchie Neutron, the big head himself. He turns these numbers on this paper to monies in your 401k. He is also his pronoun preference, he and him, and quote, but I'm also open-minded. That is the team, and also joins special guest Taylor Lewy Locks himself, Taylor Lewan. He hails out of Michigan. Massive game that we will get to and talk about. Michigan versus Alabama. A bus is divided. We will get into it right after Jack gives us an incredible quote to kick us off for this bowl special.
Championships are won at practice. Easy and simple. I hope to God that these bowl teams have been practicing because it's the last game of the year for you. And you know, if you lose, unless you're Michigan or Alabama, then you might have two more games. One of these guys are gonna go home a winner. One's gonna go home a loser. Whatever that means. Go to fucking practice, put your work in, watch the film, and come prepared. Or go home a fucking nerd.
I see losers, I see nerds.
Leave comments.
I would love to do the recap from championship weekend, but it's been so long, can't remember. All I remember is that I went 5-1. Yeah, it's not a big deal. We don't have to talk about it. Any questions though about me being 5-1 before we?
It sounds like we should tail you.
Yeah, maybe, or tell what's in your heart. And yeah, so with that being said, one last show for the full year. Last Bet the Bus. Let's go undefeated. Hopefully the SEC takes everything. So yeah, let's run that. Let's run that board.
We will go ahead and get this thing jumping with the Barstool Bowl. Toledo versus Wyoming. Wyoming is favored by 3.5. Toledo is 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 bowl games. Toledo is 9-2 against the spread in their last 11 games and are 0-4 against the spread this season against teams with a winning record. Toledo is also 5-12 against the spread in their last 17. This is not. We
had an intro and then we read Mitch's stats on the show. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Kicking that off, Wyoming is 8-3 against the spread this season and won their last 2 games by a combined 84-14. That is your data by Mitchie Neutron. Let's start with JP. Where are you going for the Barstool Bowl out in Arizona?
You already know where I'm rolling, man. Toledo. I'm with Toledo every single week, and that's not going to change during bowl season.
It doesn't look good if you're with Toledo every week.
Well, they were in the MAC
They're in
championship.
the bowl game, aren't they?
They lost the MAC championship.
Yeah, but they were in the MAC
They
championship.
are in the bowl game.
So I went at least 500 with Toledo all year.
Okay.
Next question.
Jack, where you going?
I will be going opposite with Wyoming. What are they? What's their mascot?
Cowboys.
The Cowboys. Yeah. Cowboys -3.5.
I'm with you. I'm going Wyoming as well. Not a lot of just that very negative data on Toledo. At first, I thought Wyoming was playing Tulane, and this was going to be an absolute bloodbath. But then I realized Tulane is not Toledo. And for that simple fact, I am now going Wyoming.
They're both on different parts of the country for sure. One's in the south and one's in the north. Listen, last year we went to the Arizona Bowl. Wyoming was at that bowl, and they got upset by the Ohio Bobcats at that time. You know those boys. That's their Super Bowl in that situation. Wyoming has focused this entire year on getting back to the Arizona Bowl, getting back to Tucson, and putting a stamp on a championship bowl, whatever the hell that is. Revenge game. Their coach, after 42 years of being in the game, late nights, early mornings, is hanging up the whistle after this game. The Wyoming Cowboys have so much more to play for than the Toledo Rockets. Wyoming is coming to take what's theirs. And if you're worried about these boys going in Tucson, going out, having a good time, spoiler, there ain't shit in Tucson. It's a crappy school down there, and you're near the border. You want to have fun? Go about 30 minutes south. Then you're having fiestas and having a great time. But until then, I got Wyoming. Got a little cough.
Hey, who was the O lineman for Wyoming last year that had the
Tits McGee or something like that?
McGee.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually, but it was Titsworth.
Titsworth, yeah.
Yes.
He was about the boys too.
Yeah, he was with the boys, and he told us he was selling merch. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next game, the Cotton Bowl. Mizzou versus Ohio State. Ohio State is favored -1.5. Mizzou, here's the data. Mizzou's 8-4 against the spread this season and 4-1 against the spread as an underdog. Ohio State is 6-5-1 against the spread this season. Ohio State will also be without Kyle McCord, possibly their top 3 running backs, and also Marvin Harrison Jr. and Julian Fleming. Ohio State's probably going to be without a lot of cats, so this is an opportunity for Mizzou. I think Mizzou is excited to go to this bowl, whereas Ohio State, it feels more like an obligation to go to this bowl. Where are we going? Mitchie Neutron, the Fairweather fan himself.
What you said right there about Ohio State feeling like they have to go to this game, whereas Missouri wants to. I agree with that because half their team is missing. But this is going to be a tune-up game for next year. Like we're going to see, like, all right, let's see what these boys are made of.
Tune-up game for next year.
Not a tune-up game, like a
extended spring ball.
Let's tune up 6 months before the next season, boys.
Yeah.
Let's see how we're feeling.
Tune-up was
We'll
a
take
wrong
6-month break, and we'll
was the
get back
wrong word
to
for it. Like a showcase for what next season could look like, because I just don't like
Another way to say it.
how all of these guys are gone. I'm still going to ride with Ohio State, but I'm nervous that all of our weapons on offense are not playing.
Right. As a fan, who is the quarterback that's going to play in this game?
No idea.
Why?
Fuck, man.
Are you crazy? Devin Brown from Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona, ended up in Utah at the end. There was actually in a fight
Blue
for the
coming in.
starting job against Kyle McCord until he had a little fingy issue in spring ball, ends up losing that. Kyle McCord goes 11-1 on a team that was looked at as possibly a national champion contender. What does he do? He shows his character. He enters the transfer portal and goes to a school where their mascot is a fruit. It's disgusting. These guys, Devin Brown, he's going to be all right. Marvin Harrison Jr. is talking about staying for another year. I think he's psychotic doing that. If he does, he should absolutely go to the NFL because you don't know how much you have on the tires, but it shows that kind of leadership in that wide receiver. I think Ohio State has a big opportunity here. They got speed. Yeah, Missouri, they're a good ball club. They won a lot of games they shouldn't have. Tennessee, they mopped the floor with Tennessee. I wanted Tennessee to win that game, but unfortunately that wasn't the situation. But coming from a better conference, Ohio State, I'm taking Ohio State in this one, -1.5.
You're taking Ohio State.
I think Ohio State too. I think the Devin Brown, I think like Ohio State, the talent and the depth that roster like that has against Mizzou, like this isn't the middle of the pack SEC. Like this is actually an elite program, even though they're not in the playoff. I think they're more of a reload group, and I think Devin Brown does a good job. You see a lot of the backup quarterbacks make a lot of shine, like when they get their debut in the bowl game, and I think Ohio State's a spot where that happens. I'm taking Ohio State -1.5.
I just don't like the inexperience.
How many games did he play in this year?
Devin Brown?
Yeah.
I think like 3 or 4.
He played in 11. Played 11 games.
Hey,
all right.
Maybe
that sucks, but that's a tough showing for you.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, you'll get Penn State. We'll talk about Penn State.
Yeah, we'll talk about Penn State. Does anybody else want to comment on Mizzou, Ohio State?
Going? Yeah, you know where the boys are going.
Mizzou. Yeah, Missouri. I'm so confused. I didn't know Taylor was an Ohio State fan.
Not Ohio State fan. I'm here to make money, folks. I'm here to make money.
Man.
Ohio State was one game away from going to the national championship. Obviously, they had to play the best team in college football history, so it unfortunately didn't work out for them. But I believe Ohio State's going to win this. This is going to be a big year for the Big Ten.
Missouri.
2 words. Step cousin.
What do you mean by that?
Earlier this year, I actually called them. I actually called Missouri the ugly step cousin of the SEC, and I'm here to formally apologize to all my Missouri fans out there. But you know the one thing about an ugly step cousin, in the beginning of your life, might be ugly, but by the end of your season, aka your formidable years as a teen, that ugly step cousin's gotten a little busty, gotten a little cute. All of a sudden, she's looking more just like a friend than a step cousin. And for that reason, I'm riding with Missouri. Thank you.
All right. What's the next game we're going to go to? The Peach Bowl, right?
Yes, Peach Bowl. Ole Miss versus Penn State. Penn State is currently favored -3.5. It started out, the line opened at 2.5 and now has moved up to 3.5. A lot of people favoring Penn State here. Penn State is 9-3 against the spread. Ole Miss is 7-4-1. Lane Kiffin is 1-2 in bowl games at Ole Miss. Penn State's defense is playing against an explosive Ole Miss offense. Penn State's defense ranks 1 in yards per game, yards per play, sacks per game, total sacks, and is only allowing 11.4 points per game. Mitch, fan of Penn State as well. Let's see if you know a little bit about this ball club. Where are you going? Penn State versus Ole Miss.
What was the spread?
3.5 Penn State.
I'm gonna go.
Oh my.
I have no idea. I think Penn State's defense is without Chop Robinson, who's like going to be a top 10 pick. Drew Aller, just in the 2 games that he's played against good teams, has just kind of not been it. But I think
Ole Miss is a good team.
Yeah,
It's a good ball club down there.
I think it's a good ball club down there in Mississippi.
I think the Rebels are going to take it away from Penn State.
Yeah, I do. I think so.
I think you're wrong, Mitch. I think you're wrong. You're taking Ole Miss. Penn State, their defense is phenomenal. Yeah, you're right. Their quarterback plays shitty against good teams. I don't think Ole Miss is that good of a team. This is going to be a ground and pound type of game. Franklin needs to get his ass back on track if he wants to keep his ass in Penn State. So I think they're going to run the ball quite a bit, and they're going to play stellar defense. They're going to walk away from this game. They're going to cover the spread, but it's going to be a low-scoring game. Boys.
I want to say also, you talk about Coach Franklin. They fired the OC right after the Michigan game, right? And they've been putting up points since then. So, yeah, I like Penn State as well. I think Ole Miss, like the Lane Kiffin vibe, they're not built for bowl games. 1-2 in bowl games. I think they're more excited about the recruiting classes that they have coming in. They're on the next year. They hope they put out a good product in the bowl game, but I think Penn State does. I think Penn State does cover. Where are you guys going in the back?
Hottie toddy, SEC all the way. Fuck Penn State.
Penn State's defensive coordinator also just became the head coach at Duke, Manny Diaz, so he will not be there.
Well, you know, he was never the same after that stupid thing he did before the Michigan game.
That would have played off well.
That would have been huge. That would have been a
played
massive
off
win for
well.
him.
G, you're going SEC as well?
Of course.
It's yeah. Now that it is SEC versus Big Ten, I just don't know how to peg you sometimes, Mitch. No homo.
Orange Bowl.
What we got? What is it?
Orange Bowl, baby. Here you
Is
go.
it orange or is it citrus?
Citrus.
Oh, it's citrus.
Bowl. Iowa versus Tennessee. Tennessee favored -7.5. What's his name? Joe Milton is not playing.
Joe Milton. Joe Milton is going to the league.
He is not playing. Tennessee has struggled in the later part of the season, losing 2 of their last 5 games. Iowa's defense is top 5 in scoring defense, yards allowed, and yards per play. They're also, I think, without their running back as well, right? Tennessee, Jalen Wright, who's a stud. Where you, Jack? Go ahead, talk about this game.
It's very simple, and it's VOLS. Go Vols, go! It's Big Ten. What? You guys were in the Big Ten championship, Iowa. That's disgusting that Iowa made it to the Big Ten championship. It speaks levels to the Big Ten. It speaks levels to Michigan. Probably already losing to Alabama. I don't know. Tennessee, go ahead and shift that line up to -14 because it is going to be an absolute ass beating. Nico time. He's getting the first start. No, that's it.
Really rounded it off well there, Jackie. Listen, Iowa is in the Big Ten West. It's one of the more competitive divisions in all the Power 5 conferences. I will say this about Iowa. Their defense is phenomenal. Their offense is abysmal. Their offense is tailored around by a guy with his titties hanging out of his shoulder pads. You can literally see the nipples popping out of the jersey. We got a big problem there. They can't push the ball down the field at all because he throws absolute muffins out there in the field. I believe Tennessee's going to win this game. I believe they're going to win it by more than 14 points as well. So with that, I'll stand with you. Go Vols. Everyone knows I'm a go big orange type of guy. And although Tennessee's in the weaker conference, Tennessee's going to walk away with this game the victor.
That don't make sense.
Threw you for a loop there, huh, Jack?
It would have been stupid to take Iowa.
It's called an abusive relationship.
I was hoping he would.
I want Tennessee to win. I don't know if they win by more than 7.5.
Wow.
And Tennessee has played against top 20 defenses this season. Those scores, they have scored 20 against Bama, 13 against A&M, and 10 against Georgia. For whatever fucking reason, Iowa finds a way to keep games close. I do think Tennessee wins. On record, I want Tennessee to win this game. But if I'm gambling and betting on this game without your guys' running back and everything else,
We
like
have depth at running back, but we'll get there. I feel that. I do
go
feel
ahead and
like
let the
Iowa's
host
a
finish.
cockroach team, though. It's very hard to get rid of them. So
I'm going to go Iowa.
Tennessee minus
I'm
21.
going to go Iowa plus 7.5. Again, Tennessee wins. I think Iowa covers some way, somehow. I don't know how they do it. They've done it all year long.
Iowa probably
God
won't
help us
score a
all.
point in this game.
And they'll probably win 3-0 or 6-0.
What?
It could very well be
Crazier
that.
things have happened.
It's different up north, dude. It is different up north. Gritty ball.
Games being played down south, though.
It's different. Great point. Moving on to the Sugar
Oh,
Bowl.
is it- wait,
Wait, we need my
Jared-
SEC guys.
Oh yeah, that's
Jared
right.
JP?
Well, they're going.
Yeah, it's
Tennessee.
GBO.
Yeah, GBO.
It's
for
not even gonna be
sure.
close.
It's ball is different up north because ball is bad up north. It's the only reason Iowa is in the Big Ten championship.
Go off.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Mm.
They're trash.
probably should have said go off before the first comment. All right, Mitch, are you going to
Iowa
go?
getting blown out would be completely fine with me. I think that would be awesome because
for GBR.
yeah. I'm just for whatever reason they've just done so many fucking they've done so many crazy what.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. You're in flow
Oh,
state.
GBO. You said GBO before GBR. Yeah, I mean, everybody knows where I stand with the big red. Yeah, I do hope Iowa gets blown out, but I'm putting my money on Iowa plus 7.5.
Where we at?
Sugar Bowl.
The Orange Bowl.
Orange
Is it?
Bowl.
Hang on, like, we got all these. Oh yeah. There we are. The Orange Bowl, Georgia versus Florida State. Florida State is not favored in this game. Georgia is favored minus 16.5. Obviously, FSU, Florida State will be without Jordan Travis and are down to their third string quarterback. The entire reason why they didn't make it to the college football playoff. The line opened up at 14, but has since gone up to 16.5. Everybody thinks Georgia's going to blow this ball club out. Georgia is just 3-10. Listen to this now. 3-10 against the spread this season. Florida State will also be without its top 3 wide receivers as all of them have declared and opted out of the game. I'm going to go Georgia. The 3 wide receivers and on their third string quarterback, if the 3 receivers were still playing, I would take Florida State because I think that this is clearly their national championship game. They win this game, they print off, they create and build their own rings as national champions, undefeated players. But I just don't think that they have the cats to pull it off against Georgia. But I guess they don't need to. If we're gambling here, they only need to cover then 16.5. But I'm going to go Georgia. Georgia minus 16.5. Taylor, where are you going?
Yeah, I feel like in this situation with their third string quarterback, the wide receivers being out, this is a statement game for Georgia saying you guys should have put us in the playoffs. They're going to win this game by more than 21 points. Florida State's going to have the unfortunate situation where people are going to say, I told you so. Yeah, you guys have been mad for a month, and now you get put back in your place. It's unfortunate what happened to Florida State. We're all upset. If you're undefeated, we would love for you to be in there. But because the talent has been hurt, it is what it is, baby. You're going to find it against the Bulldogs.
Listen, I hope Florida State, if you guys win, I'll be happy for you
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
It would be a great story.
it'll be fun conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with where I'm putting my money, though. JP, where are you going? Georgia, Florida State?
I would love to see Florida State win, but I think Georgia is going to blow them out.
Jack?
Yeah, same with JP. I'm with JP. Georgia, but it'd be fun to see them still pull it out. Doesn't seem like they're mad. It seems like they've given up. They're trying to get out of the ACC now
They're
entirely.
trying to leave. They're trying to sue. They're trying to do all
Yeah.
the things.
So I Georgia.
Dogs.
We all going
Dogs.
dogs. Anybody got Florida State covering?
Hell no.
Take a hard stand.
All right, let's get to the fun games here. Sugar Bowl to kick it off before we get into the game of the week. Sugar Bowl, Texas favored minus 4.5 against Washington. Texas and Washington, fun little history fact here. They played against each other last year in the Alamo Bowl, where Washington won that game. Texas has won their last 3 games by a combined 88 points since Quinn Ewers got back in the lineup. Texas is 4-1 against ranked opponents and 6-1 when a neutral site game is happening. Washington, 5-0 against ranked opponents and a 6-0 record in road neutral site games as well. Who wants to kick this one off? Jack.
Last game for Texas to their SEC, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give them the SEC love, and it's horns up.
Okay.
Texas minus
Taylor,
4.5.
where are we going?
I think Texas is going to win this. When you're up in the Pacific Northwest, you're more focused about decriminalizing major drugs than you are on football. That's the issue we got going on up there. The Pac-12 is now dissolving. It's really nothing. This is a nice tip of the cap saying, hey, congratulations, Washington. You guys are in here. Your offensive line won the Joe Moore Award. They are going to be very disappointed when it comes to the Sugar Bowl down in New Orleans. Louisiana, baby. Nolans. I got Texas minus 4.5. This might be the second lock of the week.
This might be the Texas-Alabama matchup we've been looking for.
I think Texas is motivated. I think Sark, with those weapons on offense, I think Texas is built similar to Oregon. We all thought Oregon would win that game in the Pac-12 title. They have the guys up front. They have the trenches in their favor. I think Sark, with that much preparation with Quinn Ewers and all the talent that they have on offense, I think that they put up a lot of points against Washington, and I think their defense does enough to keep Penix at bay. I'm going Texas minus 4.5 because I would love to see them make it to the national title game. Unfortunately, horns up. JP, you're going Washington.
For the exact reason you just said. You said Texas looks a lot like Oregon. Washington beat Oregon twice this year.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of betting against Washington. They've been underdogs so many times this year, and they've won every single time. And I'm not sure. I don't even know why I bet against them when I was. So I got to ride with Washington.
Undefeated as an underdog.
Yeah, undefeated as an underdog.
Garrett, do you want Texas to win, Garrett, so you can see a rematch with them and your
This one
Crimson?
is tough for sure because I would love to see a rematch. I think it would be the best game you could possibly ask for, but it comes down to the quarterback for me. And I think Michael Penix will have a little more composure than Quinn Ewers, but Quinn Ewers has crazy weapons. So it's a tough one for me. I'm going to go Washington. I don't love it, but I'm going to go Washington.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love that we're kind of split on that one.
Let me ask a quick question, Garrett. In your mind of where you think this college football playoff is going to go, would you like to see Washington, Alabama, or you want to see Texas, Alabama?
Don't matter.
Don't matter? Just as long as Alabama's in it.
Yep.
You are going to be disappointed come the first.
Here we go. The finale.
Dun, dun, dun,
The main event of the evening. The Rose Bowl. Alabama versus Michigan. Michigan is favored by minus 1.5. I think the line might have opened up, -1. Went to 2 at one point. Now it's back down to 1.5. Michigan is 0-2 in the college football playoff under Coach Harbaugh and an overall bowl record of 2-7. The Michigan defense is elite, A+. They rank number 1 in scoring defense, number 2 in total defense, number 3 in turnovers, and number 4 in passing efficiency. Here's a crazy stat for you, brought to us by Mitchie Neutron. Michigan has lost its last 6 bowl college football playoff games, 8 of its last 9, and 13 of its last 16. Another crazy stat. This is for Alabama. Alabama has won their last game of the year 9 times in the last 14 years. And those 5 losses, 3 were in the national championship, 1 against the soon-to-be national champion, Ohio State, and in the Sugar Bowl. Yeah. Jalen Milroe. Okay, we won't say that because now that's all opinion-based.
Yeah, it's all opinion-based.
Taylor, go ahead and kick this thing off, brother.
I want to start by saying I respect Alabama. I like Alabama. I like Nick Saban. I think you guys did an amazing job in the 2000s. Since Nick Saban's been there, you guys have been an elite conference. Now we're headed over to Pasadena. Michigan made this game what it is in the past. And I know we sit there and talk about the past all the time with Michigan. Michigan is 2-7 in bowl games. They're 0-2 in college football playoffs. You read all the stats. The last whatever how many years, we've only won so many bowl games. Let me give you another
3 out of
stat.
16.
Until 3 years ago, we only beat Ohio State 2 out of the last 20 times. And then now we've beaten Ohio State 3 years in a row. We got guys that have experience going to the college football playoff who decided not to go to the NFL that are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to win the whole entire national championship. Alabama's a stud. You guys are fantastic. You have 5-star recruits coming out the ass every single day. Here's the deal, though. With Jalen Milroe, we're going to stop the run. We're going to contain. We're going to edge wall swarm. They're going to play good, well put together defense, and we're going to make him beat us with his arm. Our defense is elite. Our offense does a great job of handling the time of possession. We are going to make this a gritty, bloodbath type of the game. And when we get to that fourth quarter, we're going to have Alabama right where the fuck we want them. And we're going to take that all the way to go see who we play, whether it's Texas or Washington or Texas. After that, I got Michigan -1.5. And I believe that is going to be the biggest lock anybody will ever have in their life.
How much you putting on that?
You know, I put a couple units on that thing.
What's a unit for you?
$1,500.
You put $3,000 on the Michigan Wolverines?
Yes.
That seems low.
Well, I'll put more later if you guys want. I think what we're focused on right now is the show, and we can do whatever you want after
right
that.
now.
Crimson Tide.
Needs a phone.
Yeah, I'm going to read a quote. Something as simple as being on time is important because it shows that you care. It shows that it's important to you. It shows that we can trust in you. It shows your team can trust in you. It's important to pay attention to detail. And the only detail Michigan has paid attention to is when they're cheating. Harbaugh has missed 7 games this year. Yes, you guys have done a good job. I think the coach that you said deserves a job. So I just think this is when the master is ahead of the class, and that's Nick Saban. It's not going to be close. You backed out of wanting to go to Pasadena for a reason.
I didn't feel like sitting in a press box.
It's okay. Game's a game. It's going to be a bloodbath. I do have a question. If they're going to contain Milroe, who's going to spy him?
Any of our guys, whoever, all of them.
Okay,
It doesn't matter.
cool. All right.
I'm good.
How about that
gonna be
receiver?
fun.
How about that receiver that said what he said?
What did he say? He told me
Demon
what he
time.
said. I'm still
Said,
trying to figure out what that.
I
co-
think
He said, we
I don't
see
like-
Oh, we like that 100 emoji.
we don't like you. We wish you were on the field. Or something like that.
If you saw me on the field, brother, it would be the same thing happened in 2012. I locked down whatever defensive end I was going against.
What
for 3.5
happened in
quarters until they
2012?
pulled me because we were getting our ass beat by so much.
Yeah.
But I didn't play on the same team. I told you 2009 to 13 are the dark years. They're like Germany. They don't even acknowledge the 30s and 40s. The Michigan fans don't acknowledge 2009 to 2012. They don't even fucking acknowledge it, right? This is not, we could sit here and get mad or say whatever about when I played. When I played at Michigan, we were fucking garbage. This is a different team. This is a team that is built to be in the trenches, that is built to play gritty ball. You said yourself it's going to be a bloodbath, dude. There's only one team coming out of there when it comes to a bloodbath. That's going to be the Maize and Blue.
How are you guys going to stop Blake Corum?
Yeah, who?
Oh, come on. Don't disrespect
Yeah,
your boy
don't.
like that now.
I mean, right now it is disrespect. It's game time. It's 5 days away.
Oh!
We're good now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
just seeing what we got here. Mitch, where you going? Roll Tide.
Okay. All right.
Where's the boy Jack going?
One question, Taylor.
Sir,
Did y'all play in Sukon when you were in college?
what's a Sukon?
Souk on these nuts. Roll Tide! Come on!
God damn it!
I'm thinking, what kind of formation is that?
Where you going?
That's so funny.
Fucking-
Ah!
JP, where you going?
I don't like to see the bus doing this to Taylor. And I have appreciated Michigan's story arc this year. And as I've seen it now, everybody is going with Alabama except Taylor, and I'll be joining them. I'm rocking with Alabama. I'm going with Tyler Booker specifically. So I'm going Roll Tide.
You got his quote off the dome?
I have it right here. Quote from Tyler Booker, one of the best O linemen in the nation. The standard can only be imitated, not replicated. There would be no Michigan without Alabama. Really, he said Georgia, but for the sake of this conversation.
Yeah, I'm taking Bama. I just don't. I think Bama, their trap game happened against Auburn, but since they've been on a run and since they showed up and beat Georgia, like this one will be no different. I think that they're going to be the more detailed football team. I do think they both elite coaches, but I like Saban in the postseason. Love Saban in the postseason.
Good.
I think this could potentially be, which I would hate to see, a blowout. Would hate to see it. Would hate to see
No,
it.
you wouldn't.
I hope that they just
You
win.
would fucking love
I
it.
hope that they just
Hey,
win by 7. Hey,
Stop doing that because you would
I hope
love
that
it.
they just win by
No,
7.
no, no, no. You would, if it didn't go my way, you would love it if it was a blowout. You would live for it. Backtrack to Will going.
Yes, I might.
I can't wait.
And then I
can't
would
wait
love
for Tuesday.
I would love to see a Bama Texas rematch, and I guess we'll have to wait until that pick. But I would love to see a Bama Texas rematch. I'm also going Alabama plus 1.5. I'm going to take Alabama money line, get a couple extra boosts in there. I have like $1,000 on them winning the whole thing. So spoiler alert, yeah, I got them beating Texas in the national title game. But I like Bama. I think this is where you want to be, yeah?
Oh, I'm
You versus everybody,
I'm
Michigan
solid
versus
right now.
everybody.
That's what it's been. I'm good with this.
You still nervous?
Listen, when I walked into this show, this is exactly where I expected to be at the end of the show. And then now the thing Jack did to me, that was nice. I did not expect that.
So nice.
And I should have seen it coming. But other than that, everything's been exactly what I thought it would be. I knew there'd be some bad quote from Garrett. I knew that JP would have a couple one. I know Mitch would fumble over his words, and I knew you'd take Alabama by a landslide.
I just said, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It's over now.
Yeah.
Right? We're done doing that?
Yeah,
okay, good.
Yeah. Thanks for coming to Bet the Bus.
Yeah,
Leave
guys, we'll see you guys
comments.
later.
Leave comments. We love you. Big hugs, tiny kisses.
Oh no!
Hey, Jack, I can't believe you got me, Jack. God damn it.
I'm seriously
I did
thinking,
not.
Where the fuck is Soup?
Yeah, I think he had all of us.
No, I've heard that one before.
Okay, man.
God damn, man.
No, I've heard that one before.
Like, even if you have, that's not the moment where you just say it.
God, that is so fucking funny.
I have.